5615. Whenever a woman gives me cologne as a gift, I think it's because I must smell bad.
5637. Whenever I see fireworks, I feel obligated to watch. It has become a burden.
5682. I take children's vitamins because they taste like candy.
5710. I'm a married man with 4 children. I've never once changed a diaper.
5686. I like to look at other people's crossword puzzles to see if I can get the answers they couldn't.
5693. When I'm in a supermarket, if there is only one of a particular item left on the shelf, I won't buy it, even if I really need it. I figure no one else wanted it, so why should I settle?
5709. When I was a girl of maybe 10 years old, I taught myself how to ride a bicycle without holding on to the handlebars. When my mother came out to watch me do it, I rode past her and wanted to say, "Look, Mom, no hands." But instead I said, "Look, Mom, no penis." I still don't know why that came out of my mouth.
5713. My wife has the most delicate way of crying. She never outright bawls. It's more that she whispers tears. I know this sounds weird, but it's sort of pleasant to watch.
5718. During my college summers, I made money digging clams. I'd go out on my boat and use this big rake to scoop them up from the bottom of the bay. At the end of the day, I'd motor over to this pier up a rather smelly polluted river where a fellow in a truck would buy them from me by the bushel. But before I could sell the clams, by law I first had to weed out the baby ones, those under 1 inch. So I'd sit there on the dock for a few minutes chucking the little ones in the river. All the clam diggers did it this way. But one day I had this epiphany. The baby clams were being thrown into the river every day for years. There was probably a gold mine down there. So late one night, I came back with my boat and rake and dug clams right there out of the foul-smelling water. I was so right. I pulled up 3 bushels. I came back the next night and the next. I was a kid in a candy store. About a week later, there were reports all over the news that people in New York City were getting very sick from eating bad clams. Now you know why.
5728. I hate when someone sits next to me on the morning train. So I purposely try to make myself look a little deranged, hoping they will choose a different seat.
5733. I used to think Band-Aids had magical healing powers. When I was 8 and my mother died, I stuck one on her picture. I stopped believing in Band-Aids after that.
5740. A few weeks ago my husband had the flu. He wanted to take his temperature, so I dug out the thermometer for him. He stuck it in his mouth before I had a chance to explain it was an anal thermometer. It had been in the butts of all our children.
5742. I was jealous because my best friend began growing pubic hair before me, so I took an ink pen and drew some of my own.
5750. The secret is that from the cradle to the grave, and every day in between, no matter what, it is very, very difficult and hurtful being black. If anyone says otherwise, they are lying.
5781. I wish love handles were sexy. Then maybe I'd get a little something something.
5790. Thanks to Netflix, all my anti-social tendencies are raging full steam.
5818. I went skinny dipping alone. I'm such a loser.
5821. I wish I was someone's muse.
5822. After we kissed in the rain, I asked him to dance with me. He said there was no music. That's when I knew it wasn't going to work out.
5833. I am getting married in May. For the health insurance. I don't love him, it's just the right thing to do, I guess. And I need health insurance.
5853. When I play Scrabble, I never try to block the triple word score with something silly. I always leave it open so either me or my opponents can rise to glory. I'm not playing for the score. I'm playing for the beauty.
5922. I say it doesn't bother me that my dad dates. I lie. I want him to be a grieving widower still.
5988. Whenever I'm home alone, I pee with the bathroom door wide open. Just because I can.
5955. In the 10 years we've been married, my wife has never visited her mother's grave. So every Mother's Day, I sneak over there with some flowers. I don't mean to offend my wife, but her mother was always kind to me.
6000. I cheated on all my girlfriends. I cheat on my wife. If there was a way to cheat on myself, I would.
6005. I send people anonymous emails telling them what they could do to improve themselves.
5500. I'm 28 years old and I've never been outside of my home state.
5534. I have trouble remembering my wife's cell phone number. But I can still remember the phone number of my first serious girlfriend from 20 years ago. That probably means something.
5533. I go to great lengths to sneak my own candy into a movie theater. I'll hide it down my pants or keep it tucked under my armpit. The whole time I'm terrified I'm going to get caught, like they're going to strip search me.
5532. I miss bologna and liverwurst. These days it's all about smoked turkey and brie. Next time I order lunch for everyone at the office, I'm gonna make a mistake and get everyone a bologna sandwich.
5530. It always makes me sad that someone cut down a pine tree that had been growing for the last 10 or 20 years, just so I could have a nice-looking Christmas tree for a few weeks.
5529. I've been using the same toothbrush for at least 5 years.
5504. Although I'd never really want to find out, I can't help but wonder how people taste, I mean cooked.
5503. I never graduated from high school.
5537. Just as a joke once with my roommate, I left a can of Spam in the medicine cabinet. But then a girl I was dating came over and when she used the bathroom, I heard her laughing. That's when I knew she opened my medicine cabinet. So from then on, I always made sure to leave a can of Spam in there so I could tell from the laughter if a woman was checking out my stuff.